Sweater weather. It is my ukulele song. I send my song to the people and they hear it. And I pour my drink into a cup. Ah! It's escaping through an alternate hole. My shirt is really wrinkly. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I sat down with Hansen Chang, a photographer in Bali who works specifically with brands. He's a pro, okay? He's a pro in the field of working with brands. I know everyone here wants free stuff. Well, they want to shoot free stuff. Well, they don't want to shoot free stuff. Yeah, they do. They want, gosh, you know what I mean. You know what you want, okay? You want to work with brands, okay? The point is, in this video, I kind of interview and talk with Hansen Chang about the ways that you guys can go about doing that. It's a little bit more long form, a little more of a conversation, so I am going to leave it here, and you are going to push the play button. Okay, look, watch the video, see what you can draw out of it. Hansen Chang is a really amazing photographer, so I wanted to connect with him while I was there. Man, I feel like I just had some really solid eye contact. Did we just connect? I knew it. I freaking knew we were gonna click one of these days. First of all, you live in freaking Bali, bro.
Dude,
that's
awesome.
Freaking
I'm
dope.
telling you, you have to move out here. We would create so much content.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of like tempting because it's so cheap out here, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, working with brands. I feel like already you have an advantage, just the fact that you even live in Bali.
It's it's funny because when I moved here, that wasn't my goal.
Right.
I didn't even really know much about Bali. I just learned photography.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came here just as like a layover on my way to Thailand. And then people saw my photography and it just kind of took off from there. And first started working with individuals, then brands.
So you were like flying through Bali and they were just like, no, I'll live here?
Yeah, man.
What the frick?
I didn't have a place to, like, I sold my van in New Zealand. And in the parking lot, I was like, oh man. So I found a flight to Bali, came in here, had nowhere to stay, landed like 1 a.m.
Dang, what the frick?
And then told the cab driver to be like, dude, I need like took me to a hotel. And then the next day we looked for a place to stay for like 2 weeks.
What?
Found Canggu, ended up extending, and then I've been here for almost a year now.
That's insane. What
That's
a wild story,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because the biggest question people asked was, how do you get started?
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy because in your story, you kind of accidentally did what everyone's trying to do. You've done it by accident. What's the biggest key to, like, how do you start? Where do you start?
So if you have a goal to work with brands, I would say the fastest way because I was very humble. I looked at everyone like, dude, I don't have anything to offer.
Right.
But I just threw out one of my first posts where I would just offer my services for free. I put there's a community, Canggu community Facebook group here, and I just put out, hey man, looking to build my portfolio. If you want to trade anything, like I need help with websites or anything like that, hit me up. And the people that were hitting me up were like, they would DM me and say, I own this clothing shop, or I own this restaurant, and I own this villa. Can you come shoot? I'll let you blah, 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 blah. So we started bartering. That's how I started building my portfolio, was shooting for free in exchange for whatever services you need. So if you're starting strategically, if I were to redo that, I would think, okay, what is the one thing I need, or I think I need, that would make me move the needle the fastest to either get more clients or to work with brands or whatever. Maybe it's someone who you need that, like a digital marketing guy.
Right.
I would find specifically digital marketers, go to them and say, hey, I can take photos for you, help me build my portfolio in exchange for you setting up my funnel or whatever to grow my business.
Okay.
So you're building your portfolio at the same time you are getting something in exchange that you actually need.
Okay, so you're kind of leveraging yourself and being like, hey, I'd like this. Okay, I'd like a new backpack. So you put that in front of yourself and to motivate yourself to get that work done.
You can do it with products, you can do it with services, you can do it for villas and vacations. Right. Like my girlfriend and I, a lot of the places we stay in Bali, or actually all over, in Russia, we're going to China, we just hit up Airbnbs or even hotels that are smaller. We look at their website presence, and it's if they don't have good photos, or even like now I do video, it's so much easier. We just email a bunch of them and say, hey, this is our portfolio, we'd love to work with you. We're here these dates that we're free, and then we just kind of plan it out like you would plan a normal trip. and we plan a trip around where we're staying, and then from there we're like, oh, we're going hiking. Maybe we need some hiking boots, and we'll reach out to some local hiking, like camping gear brands.
Right, that makes sense. That's actually another, you kind of touched on a little bit, but a lot of people asked was like, how do you reach out to them then? Does that look like a really professional email, or is it like a, okay, let's say like Airbnb, right? That sounds dope. Everyone would like to stay in an Airbnb for free. Yeah. So what does that look like? Okay, you see when you like step one.
So let's say you want to, if you're in Bali and we're up north, and if my girlfriend and I want to just travel around and go to that waterfall we went to today, I would reach out to Airbnbs that had gaps in their schedule. So let's say we're coming in a week. I would look for ones that have 2 or 3 days in between that aren't rented out. High probability they're not going to get rented out, or just wide open. And I would shoot them a message and say, hey, I love your place. My girlfriend, or we're photographers, we're videographers. I'll come here, shoot whatever 20 photos for you, and give you a 30-second video. If your place is available, we'd love to stay there for like 2 days or something.
Oh,
and
okay.
Most of the time, I would say it's like, right now a lot of people are doing that on Bali, but no one's doing that in the United States.
Yeah.
So if I were in the Pacific Northwest, I would be doing that, traveling all around. And there's a lot of places in Europe that people aren't doing it, but in Bali, it's getting more popular. A year ago, it wasn't, but now I'd say my hit rate's probably like 30%.
Okay.
100% of the
That's
time.
not bad at all.
Well, of the people I reach out to,
right.
100% of the time I can find a villa. I'm very confident that next time you come to visit, we're gonna set up some really cool villas, and we'll just go and shoot. But here's the thing, is that now that you know how to get a villa, you start to really stack your brands. So now you have a villa. You go to brands that you want to work with and say, hey, I have a villa. Or first I would go to models, okay? You want to build your portfolio, people like to see villas, like beautiful scenery, models, and clothes and stuff like that. So you can reach out to models. Mm-hmm. Models with like under 30,000 or under 50,000 and say, I'm a photographer, I'm building my portfolio, we have a villa, we'll shoot you free content in exchange for you coming to model. So once you lock them up, you go to the brands, and then so you have one villa, one day, but you're shooting for, you're basically getting exposed to whoever you're shooting, their audience, because they're going to tag you. The villa, you're getting a free place to stay. Then all the brands that you stack on top of it, you're getting relationships with them, and all of our business has come from this. Right. Like my girlfriend's basically like, I need a dress. So she'll go and find a local brand to work with, reach out to them, send us a few of your dresses, we'll shoot, like whatever, 4 or 5 dresses for you to keep one, but then we'll like have her friends come, shoot all this, like go above and beyond. So they're expecting 5 photos, but we like give her a huge shoot with like 5 of her friends that are models. Right. And then they're blown away, so they want to work with you more. So next time, we honestly have relationships with shops in the Bali area where we just go, hey, we're traveling, we need a ton of outfits. So like, just take whatever you want. We take everything. So you batch it all together, right? Everything. So you could even say, okay, I'm shooting a portrait session with one person, right? Reach out to a watch brand, pants brand, shirt brand, a hat brand. Put them all on, and you do 6 brands in one. Yeah. And in that way, because that brand stuff doesn't usually pay that well. In my experience, it doesn't no always. Usually it's free stuff, right? So you combine all that, leverage it. At first it's free. Now everything's paid for me. I don't do free stuff. Well, the relationships I built in the beginning, I still do free stuff for them. It's just we have a really good, without them I wouldn't be where we are right now. Right. But going forward, we don't do free stuff anymore. Right. Because brands are reaching out to us now. Right. Or the ones we do reach out to, I know what they want because I work with brands so much already. I can say, look, this is what we can give you, and this is how much it costs, and this is why you need it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes. I feel like that's what people want, right? The people that are trying to work with brands, they'd like to be at the point where they're like, hey, I'm going on a trip. Would be nice to have a new, hey, I'd like to rent mopeds while we're out. Why don't we just reach out to a, moped? The bar is so low. Like as creators, I think we sell ourselves short. That look, it'd be cool to get free stuff. Mm-hmm. You can get paid for this too. Yeah. But getting the free stuff is the first step, but a lot of people just look at that and it's like, that is the goal, and it's really hard to get there. But that first step is really easy to get to. You start working with big, I don't want to shout out their name, but we're working with a really big company right now. I created a video for them when I was in Russia with my girlfriend with the intention of making it really nice, tagging them, and then sending it and saying, I hope you like it, put it on yours, and they loved it. So once it comes out, you'll know who it is. Right. But knowing that you're gonna do something like that while you travel and you're doing all this, it just really helps. Like, hey, we shot all these brands and you're the feature, even though they're not on board.
Right.
The fact that you created them a finished like product and they can see it, no work, all they have to do is post it and tag you, dude. It's like you're already doing the work. Just put someone's logo in there in the front, like strategically.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt anyone else's brand. It makes everyone else's brand. It brings them up. It's great.
So that's for people that are just getting started. Step 1 is start bartering / trading. Like, go do some free work for a brand. You know, if you're into skateboarding, basically start taking photos of your skateboard, or you using your skateboard with your friends.
Yeah.
Send it out to your local skateboard shop, see what happens, and start just like, because that's actually what I did when I started working with brands. I would contact 10 a day. And conversion rates are small. You probably know that. At the very beginning, it's like less than 4%. It's like 10 a day, and I'd hear back over the course of a month from like 10 and work with maybe 2. Okay. So those were all like Instagram brands. That's kind of what you're saying, is like put out a lot of feelers out there and just start getting into the market.
I would say reach out to the smallest brands you can find when you first start. Like, I would throw out your services, your portfolio, and your offer to take free photos in exchange to communities, your local communities where they'll probably be hanging out. And it's a lot easier to get them to reach out to you, but also look for the new shops or ask around on like who's starting a new clothing brand. Those are the easiest because they need content.
Right.
And they're trying to bootstrap it. Like, for instance, when you took a photo of me today at the waterfall, this brand, I'm definitely like, he took an amazing photo of me at the waterfall.
Thanks, dude.
And I'm gonna tag them. They may or may not post my stuff or reach out, but it's just to plant the seed. So next time, I'm just shooting all my stuff in conjunction with other brands that are posting my stuff. So if I were to do a villa shot and it posted that brand with all the others, and then shared those posts and like, hey, all these brands are sharing your stuff, could you share it as well?
Right.
Once you do that a couple times, the person who's managing their Instagram account, they're going to reach out. You're gonna have one.
So you put in the front end. You put in the front end work.
The bigger ones, because I don't have a big following. I only have, when I first started working with brands, I had less than 1,000, like 800 followers. Now I have 4,000, and I'm working with much bigger brands, like brands you would know, but I still don't have, I pale in comparison to someone who has like 50 or 100,000.
Right.
You put out quality content and you build a relationship, and they will put you, because every brand needs content right now.
Right. So I guess that's like the key then, if you guys are going to get started, is like, start putting in the work for it and add value to the brand before reaching out to them.
Reaching out, sending it to them, and actually trying to connect with them, because I don't know if you knew, but like Peter McKinnon, when he made his first viral video, he sent it like 200 outlets, 200 people.
Yeah.
How many, like, of all the things you just tagging them, that's not enough, man.
Yeah.
You got to go above and beyond with what the stuff, like, take pride in what you create. But then reach out, make sure they see it, and make sure that you're not asking for anything in return. Just look, I love your brand, I created this, and start the conversation with them. They may not reply, maybe the second time or the third time, but the fourth time they may be like, dude, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then you build that conversation. You know?
Makes sense, yeah. Okay, so I'm hoping you were able to draw something out of that. Okay, one thing he said that I thought was so freaking smart was to combine a bunch of shoots, right? So if you want to start working with a brand or a couple brands, get like 6. Okay, you want a hat brand, shirt brand, whatever, pants brand, I think I said. Batch them together. Take one photo, you knock out 4. You're sending 4 images right there, man. Man, I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I don't know why I wouldn't do that. Okay, second of all, I am starting a Facebook group. Yes, I hate Facebook, but it's a good platform for this cause. What I'm going to be doing is going live in that Facebook group every Wednesday and talking with you guys a little bit more individually about the questions you guys have. Hopefully, I want to be able to look at your guys' Instagrams and be like, yo, nice one, or be like, yo, what the heck? So I want to be able to interact with you guys individually and provide value in a more of a bubble form. Is that a thing? Whatever, in a tight form. Right now it's 7 p.m., so tonight is the first one. I'll leave a link in the description. I'll leave a link down there for you to check out if you want to be a part of that. That's the end of this video, though. So, without further ado, have a good Wednesday. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, also, I'm working on coffee videos. It's just like, yeah, it's just taking time, okay? So, patience. Patience. I can't believe people name their kids Patience. It doesn't make any sense. What if she's not patient?